Sairam class, you all are welcome after your holidays. I hope that your holidays went or spent very well. As we know that we had completed our two chapter, the first one is integer and the second one is fraction and decimals. Now we will start our new chapter which is data handling. Now we all know that this data handling were also in our previous standard, that is in 6th standard, where we learned that how we can collect data and organize them in pictograph or in telemark table. Now in 7th standard we will gonna learn that what is bar graph and how we can organize or represent data in bar graph, or how we can find out the answer by observing bar graph. And the new thing in this chapter is double bar graph. Now we will gonna learn about double bar graph in detail. Before that we have to learn few basic things, or we have to recall few basic things related to data handling, which is that what are the basic needs is the very first is collecting data. Now we all know that before representing or organizing any data we have to collect the data, means we have to collect that data which is needed for our specific information, or which is needed for our specific task. For example, if we want to study the performance of our class in mathematics, or another example is we want to study the performance of India in football or in cricket. After collecting data, we will organize that data in whatever format we want. For example, if we want to organize the data in telemark table, we will do in that way. Or if we want to organize the data in pictograph, so we will organize it in that way. Now there are few representative values you might have hear or learn about average. For example, we often use to say that the average temperature at this time of the year is about 40 degrees Celsius, or the average age of people in my class is 12 years. So we actually doesn't mean that the age of each and every people in that class is 12 year, but we mean that the 12 year is the central tendency between highest and the lowest value, means 12 years is the central value in between the highest age and the lowest age among people of that class. Similarly, we have another central value which is known as arithmetic mean. Here we will first learn about what is arithmetic mean. Now, the most common representative value of a group of data is the arithmetic mean, or we can call it as only mean. To understand this in a better way, the given example in our textbook that if two vessels contain 20 liter and 16 liter of milk, then what will be the arithmetic mean for both sharing the milk quantity? In the In this case, the average or arithmetic mean would be total quantity of milk, which we get after adding 20 and 60, which will be divided by number of vessels. We know there are 2 vessels. So the arithmetic mean will be 20 plus 60 divided by 2, which is 40. So we can say that arithmetic mean is defined as follow. Means we have a formula for that. That is, mean is equals to sum of all observations upon number of observations. Let's see more clearly that arithmetic mean is equals to sum of all observations upon number of observations. Now there is one more term which is range. Let's see its definition. So here we have the difference between highest and the lowest observation gives us an idea of the spread of the observation. This can be found by subtracting the lowest observation from the highest observation, and we call the result as range of the observation. So we can say that the difference between highest and lowest observation is known as range. And how can we find it out? By subtracting the lowest observation from the highest observation. Our first exercise of this chapter is based on arithmetic mean and range. So let's try to solve them. As you can see, the first question is find the range of heights of 10 students of your class. So what you have to do in this question, you have to take height of 10 students and then you have to subtract the lowest height from the highest height to find out the range. Now let's move on to second question, because first question is your activity based, so you can yourself find the height of 10 students and try to find out the range. So in next question, as we can see that we have given marks in a class assessment and we have to organize them in tabular form first, and then after that we have to answer 4 questions. So let's first organize them in tabular form. Here we have made a simple table. In one column we have marks and in another column we have number of students. That means 1 mark is obtained by only 1 student, 2 marks is obtained by 2 students, 3 marks is obtained by 1 student. Similarly, 5 marks is obtained by 5 students. So, after organizing these marks in table, when we added the number of students, we get to know that there are total 20 students. Now, let's see what questions we have to answer. The first part is which number is the highest? Means after organizing these marks in tabular form, which is the highest number you get to know. So we can easily see that the highest number is 9. Okay. Now let's see second question. The question is which number is the lowest? So similarly, after observing table, we get to know that 1 is the lowest number. The third part of this question is what is the range of the data? Yes. So now we have to do some calculation to find out the range. So we can see that yes, these two are the answer of first and second part. That 9 is the marks which is highest and 1 is the lowest marks. So now we know that range means the subtraction of lowest observation from highest observation. So we know that the highest observation is 9 and the lowest one is 1. So when we subtract them, we have 8 as answer. So we can say that the range of the given data is 8. Find out the arithmetic mean. Means in fourth part we have to find out the arithmetic mean for the given marks. So as we know that the formula of mean is equals to sum of observation upon total number of observation. So first of all we have to sum all the observations. These marks are our observation. So we have to sum up them first. So after adding all of them, we get to know that the sum of them is 100. And we know that total number of observation is 20, as there are the marks for class assessment for 20 students. That means the total number of observation is 20. So after dividing them, we get to know that the arithmetic mean for given data is 5. Again, sum of observation mean we have to add them for sum of observation. And for number of observation, we have to count them. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That way we get to know the total number of observation, and for sum of observation we have to add them. Okay. Now, third question is find the mean of the first 5 whole numbers. So we all know that whole numbers starts from 0, then we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because we have to find the mean of first 5 whole numbers, so we take from 0 to 4 only as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for finding the mean, we first have to sum them. When we added them, we get the sum of observation. Means after adding them, we get to know that their sum is 10. And then total number of observation. How many datas they are? They are 5. So we can say that 10 upon 5, that is 2, is the mean for first 5 whole numbers. So this is the question you have to do yourself, as it is easy to do. We just have to sum first 5 whole numbers, then we have to divide it by 5 and we get to know that what is the mean for first 5 whole numbers. Let's move on to next question, which is question number 4. Now we have given that a cricketer scores following run in 8 innings. 8 means we have given the total number of data, which is 8. Means total number of data is 8. Now we have to find the mean of this score. So we know that what is the formula? mean is equals to sum of all observation. Now these are our observations, so we have to sum up them. Then sum of observation is divided by total number of observation, and this is our total number of observation, means 8 is the total number of observation. So let's see how we can solve this question. Here we have given the run scored by that cricketer in 8 innings. So we know that mean is equals to sum of all the observation upon total number of observation. When we add all the given observation, we get 400 as their sum, and we know that total number of observation is 8, so we have to divide 400 by 8, and we have our answer 50. So we can say that 50 is the arithmetic mean for given run scored by cricketer in 8 innings. Now question number 5, we have given a table shows the points of each player scored in 4 games. Now we have player A, B and C, and game 1, game 2, game 3 and game 4. And we have given the points scored by them in different games. And we have to answer following questions after observing that table. So the first question is, find the mean to determine A's average number of points scored per game. That means we have to find out the arithmetic mean for A's, means for player A's point scored. So we know that what is the formula for arithmetic mean is sum of all the observation. Now let's see what are the observations, means what are the points scored by player A. So for game 1, A scored 14. For game 2, A scored 16. And for game 3, A scored 10. And similarly for game 4, A scored 10. So we have to sum all the 4 points scored by A, and then we have to divide that sum by 4 as A played 4 games. So let's see its solution. Now here you can see that we have to find mean, that means average score by A. And we know that 14, 16, 10 and 10 are the scored obtained by A in 4 games. So when we add 14, 16, 10 and 10, we get 50 as sum, and then we have to divide it by 4. Then we have our answer 12.5 after division. So we can say that 12.5 is the average score by A. Now the second part is to find the mean number of points per game for C. Means now we have to find arithmetic mean for score obtained by player C. And the further question they are asking is, would you divide the total points by 3 or 4? Means what will be the total number of observation you will take, whether it is 4 or 3. As we can see in table that C's case is different, as C did not play game 3. C only played game 1, game 2 and game 4 and did not play game 3. So we have to take 3 as its total number of observation because C only played 3 games. So the answer of this question is we will take 3 to divide the total points. So let's see what will be its solution. Here you can see that as C only played 3 games, so we will divide total points by 3. As it only asked us that would you divide it by 3 or 4, so our answer is we will divide it by 3 as it played only 3 games. Now the third part is B played in all the 4 games. How would you find the mean? So it is very easy. We have to sum all the points scored by B and then we divide it by 4 as B played all the 4 games. So let's see what are the scored obtained by C. So we can see here in first game B scored 0, in second B scored 8, in third B scored 6, in fourth B scored 4. So let's see how we can find out mean for B's score. So as B played 4 games, so we will find the mean by dividing total points by 4. So for mean, we first added all its score and then divided by 4. So after adding B's all the point, we get 18 and then we divide 18 by 4, we get 4.5. That means 4.5 is the average for B's score. Now the fourth part is who is the best performer. So we can easily find out that who is the best one by observing their score, but more easily we can find out it by observing their average score. So let's see what is the average score for all the 3 players. So we can see here that the average score for A is greater, so A is the best performer. We can also see in table that the points scored by A is more as compared to other players. So the answer is A is the best performer. Now the second question number 6 is the marks out of 100 obtained by a group of students in a science test, and the marks are 85, 76, 90, 85, 39, 48, 56, 95, 81 and 75. Now we have to find out the answer of various questions, as the first part is the highest and the lowest marks obtained by the student. So we can easily find out the highest and lowest marks by observing the data. For this, it will be more convenient for us to find out the answer if we arrange them in ascending or descending order. So now you can see here the marks obtained by the group of students are they, and we can easily see that the highest marks is 95 and the lowest marks is 39. So you can find out it more easily by organizing them in ascending or in descending order. Okay. Now, what is the second part of the question is the range of marks obtained. Now, we know that for find out range, we have to subtract the lowest marks by highest marks. So, we all know that the highest marks is 95 and the lowest marks is 39. That means range of the marks obtained is highest marks minus lowest marks. That means 95 minus 39 and we get 56 as range of the marks obtained. Now the third part is we have to find mean marks obtained by the group. That means we have to find out the arithmetic mean for the given observations. So let's see its solution. We know that mean is equals to sum of all the data upon total number of data. So for this we first have to add all the given data, and after adding them we get 730 as answer, means 730 as their sum, and we know that there are total 10 number of marks given. As you can count them 10, and when they add them we get 730 as their sum. So after dividing them we get 73 as the mean marks. You can easily see that all the questions are based on mean and range only. So this exercise is very easy because we just have to learn two formulas, which is mean and the range. Mean means sum of the observation upon total number of observation, and range is equals to highest observation minus lowest observation. Now in 7th question you can easily see that we have given the enrollment in a school during 6 consecutive years, and what we have to find? We have to find the mean enrollment of the school for this period. Now we just have to sum these data and then divide it by 6, as there are 6 total number of observation. So we know that it is very easy to find out. So it is your homework question. Now let's move forward and try to find out the solution for question number 8. In question number 8, the question is the rainfall in millimeter in a city on 7 days of a certain week was recorded as follows. Mean, this table gives us information about the rainfall in millimeter for 7 days in a certain week. That means on Monday rainfall is 0 millimeter. For Tuesday it is 12.2 millimeter. Similarly for Wednesday it is 2.1, for Thursday it is 0, for Friday it is 20.5, for Saturday it is 5.5, and for Sunday it is 1.0. Now we have to answer following questions according to this table. So the first part is find the range of the waterfall in the above data. So we know that for find out the range, what we have to do? We have to subtract the lowest rainfall by the highest rainfall. So first of all, let's see what is the lowest and what is the highest rainfall. So we know that the lowest rainfall is 0 and the highest rainfall is 20.5 millimeter. Let's see its solution. So you can easily see that the highest rainfall is 20.5 and the lowest rainfall is 0 millimeter. So the range is 20.5 minus 0 and we get 20.5 millimeter as range. Now let's see what is the question number 2. find the mean rainfall for the week. We have to find the mean rainfall. So for this we have to sum all the recorded rainfall for all the days, and then we have to divide it by 7, as we have given rainfall for 7 days. So let's see its solution. Here we have solution for second part. For this means, for find out the mean rainfall, we first have to sum all the given rainfall for 7 days, and then we have to divide it by 7. So after sum we get 4.3, and then we have 41.3, and then we have to divide it by 7 and we get 5.9 as answer. Here you can see 41.3 is the sum of all the observation, and then when we divide it by 7 we get 5.9 as mean rainfall. Now the third part for question number 8 is, on how many days was the rainfall less than mean rainfall? So we know that 5.9 is our mean rainfall, and we can easily see that on Monday rainfall is 0, for Wednesday it is 2.1, for Thursday it is 0, and for Saturday it is 5.5, and for Sunday it is 1.0, which is less than our mean rainfall. So we can say that on all these days the rainfall is less than mean rainfall. Now question number 9, in which we have given the height of 10 girls in centimeter, and we have to find out the answer for given questions. So the first question is, we have to find the height of the tallest girl, and in second one we have to find the height of the shortest girl. Then we have to find the range. Then we have to find mean height. Then we have to answer that how many girls have height more than the mean height. So let's see the answer for all these questions. Here we have answer for all the questions of question number 9. Now we can see these are the heights in centimeter. So we can easily see that tallest girl is of height 151 centimeter. The shortest girl with height 128 centimeter. So we can find out range easily by subtracting the highest height and the lowest height. So when we subtract 128 by 151, we get 23 as the range of the data. Now to find out the mean height, first we have to add all the heights. After adding them we get 1414, and then we divide it with 10 because we have given height of 10 girls. That means total number of data is 10. So we get answer 141.4 centimeter as mean height. Now the question is, how many girls have height more than mean height? So we know that our mean height is 141.4. So we can see after observing the given data that 5 girls have height more than mean height. Other than arithmetic mean, we have two more representative value, mode and median. Let's see about their definition. So mode is the most occurring observation in a given set of observation. Means if we have given number of observation, then which data, that means which number occurs most, is the mode of the set of given observation. We will understand about mode more clearly when we will do some questions related to mode. Let's see about median. In a given data arranged in ascending or descending order, means if we have given a set of data, and we arrange them in ascending or in descending order, then after arranging them in ascending or descending order, the middle observation is the median of the given observations. Again, if we have given a set of observations and we arrange them in ascending or in descending order, then after that, which observation we get in the middle is the median of that set of observation. Let's understand about mode and median more clearly after solving questions of exercise 3.2. The first question is the score in mathematics test out of 25 of 15 students is as follow, and we have to find the mode and median of the data, and we also have to answer that if they are same or not. So let's check for its solution. So we will do all the question related to mode and median in different ways. Means obviously the answer is same, but solving them or representing the solution is different. So in first question we have given scores and we arrange them in tabular form. So after arranging them in tabular form, you can easily see that here we have a score and here we have number of students. So we know that we can easily see that 5 marks is obtained by only one student. Similarly 15, 16, 19, 12, all these marks is obtained by only one students, but 20 marks is obtained by 4 students. Similarly 25 is obtained by 2 students, but we can easily see that most occurring marks is 20. So we can say that 20 is the mode of given set of observation, as 20 is scored by most number of students. Now to find out the median, first we have to arrange the given data in ascending or in descending order. So we will arrange them in ascending order. So after arranging them in ascending order, and then we have to count that which is the middlemost value. So from counting this side and from this side too, we get to know that 20 is the middlemost value. You can count yourself. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similarly from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is the middlemost from both the side. Also we know that the given marks is of 15 students. So as the total number of data is 15, so obviously 8th is the middlemost data. So counting from here, we get to know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 20 comes in the middle. So 20 is the median, as after arranging data in ascending order, 20 is the middle observation. Number 2. The question is the runs scored in a cricket match by 11 players is as follows. These are the run scored by 11 players in a cricket match, and we have to find mean, mode and median for the data, and we have to answer are they same or not. So let's see its solution. In this question, we arrange the given data in ascending order, and then we will find out that what is mean, mode and median. So when we arrange them in ascending order, this is their ascending order. Now we can easily see that 15 occurs 3 times, so this is the mode for the given data, as 15 is scored by most number of players. Now what is median? We know that total number of observation is 11, so sixth data will be the median, or the middle observation will be the median after arranging them in ascending or descending order. So we can easily see that 15 is the middle observation, so this is the median for the data. You can see yourself that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 15 comes in the middle, so it will be the median. Now we have to find out the mean. For mean, what we have to do? First we have to add all the observation. So after adding them, we have 429 as their sum, and we know that we have given the score of 11 players, so 11 is the total number of observation. So we have to divide 429 by 11, and we get 39 as mean of the run scored by 11 players. Now let's see what is our question number 3. In question number 3, we have given weight in kg of 15 students, and we have to find the mean, no, not mean, only mode and median, and then we have to see that is there more than one mode. So let's see its solution. Now after arranging given height of 15 students in ascending order, we get to know that we have 38 height 3 times, mean 3 students have height 38 and 3 students have height 43. So we have 2 most occurring numbers. So we can say that 38 and 43 both occurs 3 times. So that means yes, there are more than one mode, which is 38 and 43. Now for median, we have to check that which digit comes in the middle after arranging in ascending order. So when we count from one side, as it is the height of 15 students, so 8th digit will be the median. So 40 is the median for given observation. In fourth question, we have given data and we have to find the mode and median. So you can easily find out the mode and median for the given data. So question number 4 will be your homework. Now in question number 5, we have true false. So let's see what are the statement. The first one is the mode is always one of the number in a data. So yes, it is true, because mode is the most occurring number in a data. Second one is the mean is one of the number in a data. So it is false, as we know that we can find mean by dividing the sum of all the observation with total number of observation. The third one is the median is always one of the number in a data. So it is also true because we know that when we arrange the given data in ascending or descending order, the middle observation is our median. So it is true that median is always one of the number in a data. Now the fourth one is the data has mean 9, means the given data has mean 9. So for this we have to first solve it. So the given data are 6, 4, 3, 8, 9, 12, 13 and 9. When we add all the data, we get 64 as their sum, and we know that the number of these data is 8. So when we divide 64 by 8, we get 8 as mean. And in question it is given that the data has mean 9, so it is false because when we solve it we get 8 as its mean, so it is false. So this is it for today. Thank you.